All right, we're back at it. We're back at it. It is Monday, September 23rd. So let's jump into it and let's read the disclaimer. Please note that the following is not legal or financial advice and is provided for informational and educational purposes only. Investing in securities carries a high degree of risk and can result in the loss of your entire investment. You should consult with a qualified financial advisor or legal professional before making any investment decisions, and the information contained in this presentation does not constitute an offer or solicitation to buy or sell any securities or other financial instruments. Any opinions expressed in this presentation are subject to change without notice and should not be relied upon as a recommendation to buy or sell any securities. Please do your own due diligence and research before making any investment decisions. All right, with that being said, we dropped off on the disclaimer. What's up, Don? Thanks for coming through. And let's go take a look at the charts. Let's see how we're doing. Let's see how we are doing right now. I am missing one thing though, which is not good. Okay, here we go. Here we go. Let's go over here. Let's go over here. All right, let's bring the charts down. If we could just move this a little bit. Okay. Currently looking at SPY. We got about 30 seconds left on this candle. We're gonna look for some one DTEs right quick. All right. And let's go here. All right, 10 seconds left on SPY. Let's go. Let's go. And let's take a look. All right, I'm in SPY. SPY calls filled. I am in SPY. Let's see how we do. Let's see how we do. Just going for a quick scalp. Just going for a quick scalp right now. Of course, this old beat up phone ain't working, but that's just the way it is. It's frozen. Trying to see if I could get out of this. All right, all right. Where did my trade ain't even showing on the phone? That's ridiculous. Trade ain't even showing on the phone, but I'm trying to show y'all that I'm in that trade. I'm in that trade. Let's see. Let's see. TikTok shop phones and reviews. I'm gonna check the comments in just a moment. For some reason, it's not even showing my trade on this phone. Let me go over here. Oh, snap. What the deal is? Wow. Wow. Your open options will appear here. You guys can see I entered that trade. And of course, that ain't showing. Real bad right now. Real bad. All right. All right. Let's see what's going on. Let me close this. Jesus. Not a good look. Not a good look right now. Not a good look. Let's see what's going on. All right. Here we go. Here we go. So I'm in the trade. In the trade, you guys can see it. We're in the trade right now. We're in the trade. I really should have this up on the computer, but you guys are just rocking with me right now for a quick second. Let's see how we do. Let's see how we do. All right. So we're just trying to catch a little bit of this bullish continuation. ERQ retail shop. I don't do Forex yet. And Jerry Trader, you're exactly right. It has been a choppy Monday. It has been a choppy Monday for sure. Let's see what's going on here. All right. All right. So it's kind of coming down, and I'm going to keep it very conservative. I'm going to keep it very conservative. If we get close to the stop loss, I'm going to go ahead and exit the trade. Stop loss is about 10%. So we're just going to ride it out and see what goes on. Let's see what happens. Kurosaki says I entered hella late. Let's see. Hirosaki, I want to thank you so much for always coming through my lives, doing the engagement. ERQ retail shop. I do options. Yes, do options. That's for sure. That's for sure. Let's see. Let's see. We're getting close. We're getting close. This is definitely, I'll admit, a trade that I shouldn't have done. We already did our one and done trade, or it should have been a one and done trade earlier today, but it is all good. All good. All right. And this is probably what I get for trying to do too much on the live, trying to do too much. We got a few people rock with us. Thank y'all for the likes. Thank y'all for the likes. Thanks for coming through. Project Limitless. What's up? What's up? What's up, everybody? So we're in a live trade right now. It's kind of going against us. Stop loss is 10%. As you guys can see, stop loss is 10%. So gonna keep it very conservative and get out once that 10% is hit. What I do want to do is come over here. Let's bring this up. All right, let's see how we do. Let's see how we do. So we're just gonna ride it out. Be a little patient. Be a little patient. Let me see. So we got five at 158. Five at 158. Let's go. Let's go. All right. Times 158. 790. 790 on it. Getting very close. Getting very close. Okay. 790. Stop loss is 142 on the contracts. We are getting there. Looks like it's moving against us a little bit. And ERQ says, can I zoom out a little on the screen? Yeah, I can zoom out. I think you mean like this, right? Okay, okay. If that's what you mean, let me know from if this is zoom out. So we're looking at the 30-minute chart on SPY. We entered calls to the upside, but it looks like there's a little bit of resistance right here at price open. That's what this blue line is right here. So we're just going to take a look. Right. Let's see. Let's see. Are you in puts? No, I'm not. I probably should be looking for a little bit bullish continuation right now. Looking for a little bullish continuation, but we're getting super close to the stop loss, so won't hesitate to get out as soon as the stop loss is hit. Let's see how we do. Let's see how we do. All right, we're getting close. We're getting close. All right, my calls expire tomorrow. King Tut. I got one DTE on these, and stop loss has been hit. We're outro like Gwyneth Paltrow. Stop loss was hit. Outro like Gwyneth Paltrow. So lost 10%. Not bad. Not bad at all. Still up for the day, but that was probably a trade I shouldn't have took. I'll admit that for sure. Probably a trade I should not have took. So we're kind of flat on the day. We did one trade earlier where we took calls up to this upside, and then I got into this mainly looking at some of this bullish hammer right here and wanted to catch some of this bullish continuation, but should have took note of this resistance that we saw at the open. Maybe could be a head and shoulder ERQ at the 30-minute chart. I usually give more credence and more confidence to candlestick patterns on the larger time frames, like your head and shoulders, double tops, things like that. I think I saw head and shoulders on something else, but definitely could have looked at this as a fair value gap. As we zoom in on the 30-minute chart, we see that there was a fair value gap here, and we needed to come down on this third candle to close it. So I should have kept that in mind as well. But the big reminder for the day is really just to let your one and dones be your one and dones. I'm not too sure what triggered me to want to hop on live and to get into this trade, but I was looking at it, and there's a couple of things that I should have saw there. This fair value gap, if you do play fair value gaps, or if you keep them in mind, this would have been a good thing to see that the price was going to come down here at least, and then seeing that we struggled to get above the open. But yeah, I think so too. I think it's going to run now that we hit the fair value gap. Project Limitless for sure. James Kennedy says, "What time frame are you trading from, please, sir?" For sure. I was just trading on the 30-minute time frame, so I had one winner and one loser today. I should have just stuck with my one and done. I did put the other one earlier today in the Discord, so this was my first trade of the day where I scalped some calls on this candle right here. So got some calls on this candle right here. As soon as this one closed, we hopped in on the second 30-minute candle of the day and we rode this up a little bit. So was able to get an 8% return. But now, just like Project Limitless was saying, we hit this fair value gap and it looks like we're going to run up a little bit. So I should have kept that in mind, but no worries. The name of the game is to learn our lessons, put them in the trading journal, and then just go from there. David, I am out of my trade. I was long. I was in calls, but we hit the stop loss, kept it very conservative, 10%, and got out. Clorox Bleach, what's the typical game you aim for? So I typically go for 5 to 10% profit on a scalp. If I'm scalping, I go for 5 to 10% profit. Usually my scalp trades are less than 60 minutes. Ideally, they're probably 10 minutes or lower. But if I'm scalping, I go to 5 to 10%. And if I'm doing something like a swing trade, I typically aim to have 20 to 30%. So as you guys can see, the trade of the day, I got 8% right here. That was the first trade of the day, and then just got stopped out on this one. But it does look like it's about to super run, as Project Limitless said. Yo, yo, James Kennedy, thanks for the sharing the live. King Tut, thank you for the follow. Yes, yes, yes. Cozy, what's going on? Appreciate you for coming through. So I just got stopped out of this. I should have been aware of this fair value gap right here. Should have been aware of this fair value gap. Price came immediately down and now it's running back up. But that's on me. First off, I shouldn't have even taken the trade. I have my one and done. That's typically like how I like to trade. But I wanted to go live with you guys and just show some love to the TikTok community. You guys always show me love. So I wanted to go live, and now that trade is moving in my direction. So definitely, if you guys have been on my lives before, I said that we all know that most candles have a pullback. So I definitely could have waited for that pullback before getting in. And then we had this fair value gap down here that price came down to. So lessons learned, right? If you have a general rule like myself of doing a one and done, right? If your first trade of the day was profitable, there's no reason to get back in because the market will not hesitate to take the money back from you. So that's essentially what happened with me today. I had my first trade of the day, which was good. It was golden. And as you guys can see here, I alerted it to the trading community. I put it first in the trading chat room and I said, good morning. Let me move this over a little bit. I said, good morning, PIU. I was looking at SPY to potentially scalp some calls, one date to expiration, one DTE, and then keeping an eye on this 30-minute candle to see how it closes. So this was the first 30-minute candle of the day right over here. First 30-minute candle of the day. And then I went ahead and hopped in calls right here. And we rode that up a little bit and caught some of that move. And of course, this was the one we just got stopped out of, mainly A, because I shouldn't have traded it. And two, should have been aware of this fair value gap. But it's all gravy. It is all gravy. James Kenny says, what strategy are you using off the 30-minute, please? So a little bit really just looking at where does price kind of want to stop. So the long and short of it is support and resistance to a degree. So I kind of use, and I've said this on several lives, I kind of use the pre-market lows, which we see right here, and the pre-market highs, which is up here, these two white lines. I use them as kind of levels for support and resistance, and then I kind of go based off there. So if I see us struggling to push down to the pre-market low, I'll take that as an indication to probably get into some calls. But I definitely did get into the trade a little late if I wanted to capitalize on that first move up. But I did want somewhat of a confirmation, like a bullish continuation for anybody that trades the strat. We're talking about those two twos kind of. But what I should have kept in mind was this fair value gap right here, which is exactly what happened right when the candle opened up. But it is all gravy because we stuck to the trading plan. We kept our losses small and we're still good. We're still good. Clark's Beach says the movement looks too small for me to make a trade. Yeah, definitely if we're going to be looking at it depends on what date of expiration you have in your contracts. And of course, when you enter, one of the comments when I first got on the live was that I entered very late, which I can say is true. I was just looking for a little bit more confirmation. But just imagine, had you got in right here and caught this move up, depending on your contracts, you could be up a few $100s. All right. Trader Tay444 says, what platform are you trading on? I primarily trade on Robinhood, as we all just saw. I primarily trade on Robinhood. Okay. All right. Thank y'all for rocking with me. Yes, 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 indeed. We got a few people in here. Let's see, let's see. Thank y'all for the likes. Thank y'all for the likes. But Project Limitless called it. We had this bounce off this fair value gap right here, and we are kind of struggling to get above the market open for the day, which is this blue line. But I have a little bit of confidence that we'll push up a little bit. All right. Trader Tay 444 says Forex and indices too. I do not. I do not trade Forex or indices yet. I probably will get into Forex. I'm also kind of interested in commodities, but like I've said several times before, my big goal is really to master options before I jump over to something else. I really want to get options down like the back of my hand. I want to be able to, at any given time, enter the market, make some money. And once I do that, like once I know I'm kind of like a master at my own strategy with options, then I'll move over to either Forex or commodities. All right. HRTN Soul, thank you for the follow. Chris Marvel says, how do you tell when big firms are buying and selling to create market movement? There's an indicator that some fellow traders that I know of, a couple of different traders out there that I know of, they use an indicator that helps them identify that. Let me see if I can find it for y'all. I don't use it. I probably should. But it is called the institutional order block pressure. This one right here. So this is something that a few people that I know of use, institutional order block pressure. So if you're looking for something like that, if you're looking for like where potentially the big firms are making plays, you can use that one. And then I think there is another one, but let me turn that off. It looks like it is being a little weak. All right, green beam coming, Trader Tay. Yo, Lance Ware, thank you for the follow. Appreciate that. So yeah, like you guys saw, big lesson of the day, especially if you trade like how I trade. And what I mean by that is I typically do a one and done, right? So if my first trade of the day is profitable, I usually will leave the market alone. But I was seeing this line up and I wanted to get on live and share it with y'all, but I immediately got stopped out, which is good because it's a part of the trading plan and we keep it conservative. So just a reminder, right? Like just go ahead and take your profits and go for the day. Didn't necessarily need to get in that trade, and I jumped into it very fast, especially with that candle opening up, and I wanted to get on live. But no excuses, right? No excuses. It's about being disciplined. It's about being consistent. But this is what I said earlier today when the market first opened up. And then over here, I put the trades. So I was fortunate enough to start the day off with the win. And I got that scalp on these calls right here on this second candle when the market opened up. All right. All right. So Spooky says, what's up? What do you see? So initially, Spooky, we were looking at a little bit of this bullish continuation. We see that price was struggling to come down to the pre-market low. We had this bullish hammer. The only thing that kind of messed me up right now in this trade was we had this fair value gap where price had to come down to. And so I got stopped out. But should I kept that in mind, I would still be good and golden. I probably would have waited until price came down here and had a nice scalp, but we're just waiting to see if price can break above the daily open. It's kind of struggling to get up there, but we shall see. We still got plenty of time left on this candle. We got 14 minutes left, but we're just looking for some more bullish momentum. But SPY is kind of struggling right now. Spooky says I took profit at 3 a.m. to avoid Monday news. That's good. It's always good to take profits. It's always good. Hey, that's what I should have did. I wanted to hop on live and show some love to everybody on TikTok because y'all always show me a lot of love. But I had a scalp right here on calls. We got in on this second candle right here, and we took the ride up a little bit, and then we took our profits and we left. And then I got into this trade, which I did not need to do. Did not need to get into this trade and got stopped out immediately. But at least we kept the stop very conservative. We kept it very small. Project Limitless says lower highs, lower lows, stopped out on the imbalance. I think we closed red. It could be. It could be, man. It could be, which would not be bueno. I mean, I've already got stopped out, but I would like to see some more bullish momentum to continue up to the upside. Yo, Spooky, thank you so much for the follow. Big shout out to you. I appreciate it. All right. Jalen says, what website do you use? So this right here that you see in front of you for my charting is TradingView. So we're currently looking at TradingView right now. And that's what this platform or this program is. And SPY is just struggling to get up to this open. All right. The one, thank you for the follow. And Salazar, I see you too. Thank you for the follow. Man, so Spooky says, what copies SPY? So there are a few things that copy SPY. Um, as you said, you got the NAS and S&P match each other often. So QQQs copy SPY as well. The movements are about the same. So we could go take a look, right? Let's take a look at the QQQs and we can see how they look compared to SPY. Let's go to QQQ. All right, we're gonna take a look at the Qs right now to see if they're looking like SPY is. Yo, Rod Luke, thank you for the follow. So we had a question in the chat just to see what copy SPY or what moves like SPY. And one of the biggest ones is QQQ. And here's how the Q is looking. Looks very similar to SPY, except for this candle right here, which was actually bearish, but it has the same shape. So we're looking at the cues on the 30-minute chart. And then if we go back here to SPY, we see it looks like the same thing. I'll bring it up on one and the same. So let's move this right here. And then hold on. All right, so we got SPY up top. And then let's move this over here. We'll make this the cues on the bottom. Boom. And then there we go. Let me move it up a little bit more for us on TikTok. All right. So SPY's on top. Let me kind of shrink myself down. All right. There we go. Let's move this up. So the Spooky's question, we see that pretty much on the bottom is QQQ and on the top is SPY, both on the 30-minute charts. And we can see that for the most part, they move about the same, right? We had this decline coming down. We had somewhat of a hammer. We had somewhat of a hammer and then a slight push up. And it looks like SPY is finally trying to get that bullish going on. All right, let's see. Let's see. Yo, Raymond, thank you for the follow. Project Limitless says check out AAPL on the weekly chart and apply the MACD is screaming below 190. All right, let's check out Apple. Move me over here. Open that up. We're going to check out Apple on the weekly chart. Let's see how we're doing. Yeah, definitely one of those lessons. So you guys got to see it in real time, right? If you were on the live from the beginning, you see the power of just taking your profits and go. My first trade of the day was profitable. I didn't need to take another trade and took an L on that second trade. Should have been out. All right, let's see. Okay, we'll go to the weekly. Here's the weekly chart on Apple. Project Limitless is letting us know. All right, I haven't used MACD in a minute. Bear with me for just a moment. I haven't used the MACD in a minute. I think I even removed it. Oops. Yo, Project Limitless, which MACD indicator do you use? All right, so we're currently looking at Apple on the weekly chart. He said to look at the MACD. Yo, yo, thank y'all for rocking with me. It's the one you click for sure. Spooky, thank you for the likes. Thank you for the likes. Thank you for coming through. I appreciate you so much. Yes, yes, yes. All right, all right. Looking at Apple. So we're currently looking at Apple on the weekly. Project Limitless is saying to turn on MACD. That's what we got on the bottom part of the screen right here. And you're saying that it's looking like it'll come down to 190. I could potentially see that. I could see come down to 207. Hold on, let me bring this down so we all can see the price. All right. So yeah, I want to move this over. There we go. All right, so right here is right about here. We do have a little bit of support or what was resistance at one point. So I could see that happening. I do see it maybe like a pit stop right around the 207 range. If it comes down, if we break down, we could come down here. So first I see like a little pit stop at the 207 range. Remember, we're looking at the weekly chart for Apple right now. So think long term if you're talking about options contracts week to week. So we're looking at the weekly chart. I could see a push down to like this 207 area. And then if we break below, for sure coming down to that 190. Yes, indeed. Yo, Junior, thank you for the follow. Appreciate that. But like I said, if you guys didn't know, my name is Curtis G. I do options trading for beginners. I put all of my trades in my Discord. And then every week, I also put my trade confirmations as well every single week. So if you guys ever wanted to see, you could check it out. And for the most part, I trade with about 1,000 per trade. I do 1,000 per trade, and then I'm usually aiming for 5 to 10% profits on my scalps. Now, if I find a swing trade, I'm usually aiming for 20 to 30%. But every week in the Discord, at the end of the week, I do put my trade confirmations so you guys can see after I do all my trades. I put the trade confirmations in there. And then this was the first one of the day, which was nice. Quick little 8%. Traded with about 800 bucks, something like that. All right. Thank y'all for the likes. Y'all are really showing love, running it up. Thank y'all. Thank y'all. Thank y'all. But lesson learned. And the good thing about having your trading plan, there we go on SPY. This is what I was looking for. I was looking for that push up above the open. So if I would have had a higher risk tolerance, we could still be in the trade making money, which is perfectly fine. There's no reason to try to force it or have FOMO. We stuck to the trading plan. We got stopped out. It's all good. But all I had to do is really keep in mind that we have this fair value gap right here. But the trade is kind of turning out the way that I wanted it to with this last 6 minutes open on this candle. And so I'm thinking we'll get closer to this pre-market high. But at this point, just based off of how much this candle's moved up, I probably would have scalped and been out. I would have hit my 10% on the other side instead of getting stopped out at 10. Probably would have hit that 10 and been good. So you live and you learn. Castro says, what do you trade? Options. That's right. I do trade options, Castro. This was a trade we were just in. I did get stopped out only because I didn't take into account this fair value gap right here. So price immediately dropped all the way down. But the candle is kind of turning out the way that I wanted it to on this 30-minute chart. So there definitely was an opportunity to make money. And basically, I was just looking for this bullish continuation right here. All right. Your boy Jay, thanks for the follow. Balin Boy says 10 points of chop, not worth it. I'm not too sure what you mean by that, Balin Bryce, but I guess it all depends on it's like kind of subjective, like what do you call it, like risk tolerance and things like that, especially if you're scalping. Especially if you're scalping, I don't look for like huge like home runs or grand slams. I'm pretty happy with the 5 to 10%, as we said. Like here, this was a trade that I did. I got 8%. This was this morning. So nothing too crazy, right? Because I'm not trading with that much money. And so I just keep it very, very simple. And look, we're moving up. We're moving up. So I definitely think that had the risk tolerance still been there, we'd be in profit where we want to be with this trade, but it's all gravy. Castro says, what do you use the trade like platform to see the candles? So what we see in front of us right now, is Trading View. This is what I use for charting. Let me move this up because this looks a little bad for y'all over here. Let me move up. There we go. Yo, Spooky, are you still in the chat? Drop a one, Spooky, if you're still in. I'm only asking if you're still in because I wanted you to see that QQQ on the bottom and SPY are moving the same. So, Spooky, if you're still in the chat, let me know. But Castro, so the platform that you see in front of you right now that I have up on my screen is Trading View. And then what I use to trade is actually Robinhood. All right. All right. Spooky, if you're in the chat still, drop a one. Just wanted to show you again that QQQ does move like SPY. All right, Project Lemon says, what do you think of the SEC approving options trading for Bitcoin ETFs? I think that's right on par. I'm not against it. I think it makes sense if it's an ETF like SPY, QQQ, all the other ones, right? XLE, all those different ETFs. They're all right about the same. So I don't knock any of that. It does add to, more manipulation and potentially, like in an indirect way, the price of Bitcoin could be impacted, especially with some of these bigger firms like BlackRock and Vanguard and all of them, they're getting more and more into the Bitcoin ETF space. So I do think there's going to be a little bit more manipulation for sure, but I'm not against it. All right. Castro says, catch you later. I follow before I can come back later for sure. Thank you, Castro. Thanks for coming through. I appreciate that. Project Limit says that would be crazy gain. So much volatility. Yeah, bruh. It'd be wild. It would be wild. All right. Yep. So you live and you learn, right? Put this down in the trading journal. Stick to my one and dones. Stick to my one and dones. I just wanted to do a live trade. I know a lot of people have requested that I do some live trading. So I was just kind of feeding into that, but I didn't necessarily need to take that trade. I should have just went live when I did the first trade of the day, which was right here on this candle, which was really good. This was really beautiful. Trade worked out really great. We had that pullback, like as we all know, every candle has those shadows, upper and lower wicks, but then we rode on up to the top side. Castro says, I like how you're doing smaller trades. Yeah, for sure. Very conservative, man. Don't need to go crazy. Just get my base hits, right? Just get my consistent base hits, keep my losses small, and just keep adding up bit by bit. We got 2 minutes left on this candle for SPY. Let's see how we turn out. And I don't know, Spooky, if you already left, but I did want to show you that that the candles on QQQ or the price movement on QQQ does kind of match and reflect the same thing as SPY. Less than 2 minutes left on this. All right. Project Limitless says when it comes to sectors like tech, utility, consumer, healthcare, etc., what is your favorite to trade? Really lately, man, as y'all have seen on my lives, it's been SPY, it's been QQQs. Outside of that, I really like Amazon. For some reason, I do really well trading Amazon, AMZN. That's one of my favorites. Uh, but that those have been my go-tos as of lately, especially for 2024. Um, Amazon, SPY, QQQs. Those have been my go-tos. Uh-huh. All right. Mr. Mulatto, thanks for coming through. So we'll see how this candle ends. It does look like it's gonna end a little bearish, but anything can happen in 60 seconds. It could be gone in 60 seconds over here. Let's see how we do. Let us see how we do. Man, that drop came on through and rocked me out of the trade. Got rocked out of that trade, y'all. Got rocked out of the trade, but it's all good. It's all gravy. Uh, Carla Mack says, how many times can you buy and sell options a day without 25K? So if you have your account as a cash account, you can do unlimited trades for as long as you have money, right? So if you turn your account into a cash account, and let's say you have $10,000 in your trading account, you can do as many trades as it goes up to 10,000. So you can do 10 $1,000 trades. You could do 20 $500 trades like that. So that's the name of the game, and that's one of the things that I had to learn the hard way. So this candle did close bearish. We're unable to break above the daily open. So I think Project Limitless, he called it. He said it was looking a little shaky. So definitely good that we stay with the trading plan, got stopped out. No need to try to force it or anything like that. But Carla MX. So if you convert your account to a cash account, you can do that with any brokerage, Robinhood, Thinkorswim, Webull, any of those. However much cash you have or how much capital you have, that's the buying power that you have a day. So, like I said, I'll give the examples again. If you have a $10,000 trading account or $10,000 worth of capital, you could do 10 $1,000 trades. You could do 20 $500 trades, so on and so forth. You could do 100 $100 trades, so on and so forth. Yep, yep. All right, all right. Project Limitless says yes, his puts are gonna print. Big shout out to you, bro. And no problem, Carla MX. Thank you for the follows. Mula got him. All right. Abraham's TikTok says, why don't you buy puts? Um, I was spotlighting, what I saw, and we all know our own, what our eyes see, our own charting is subjective. But what I saw was some bullish momentum, right? We kind of failed to come down to this pre-market low. So we're looking at the 30-minute chart on SPY. We failed to come down to this pre-market low. We had this bullish hammer. We had a strong bullish candle after that. And so that was giving me some more continued bullish sentiment. And we still got a little bit of it too. We still got a little bit of bullish sentiment as this this candle right here opens up as we just start this 30-minute candle. So that's what my thoughts were on why I took calls. But as we see, we still are struggling to stay above the opening price for the day, which is this blue line. So the market opened up, or SPY opened up at 569.34. And as we can see, price is struggling to stay above it. Anthony says Amazon calls went well. Big shout out to you. All right. Hello, hello. What's going on, Kelly? Let me try to scroll back through. Sometimes TikTok hides comments. And so for a lot of us, when we're on live, we have to like kind of scroll back through. We have to make sure we're not missing any comments. Is it Alka Beer? Says thoughts on SPY Iron Condor. I can't speak to that. I need to educate myself on the Iron Condors, to be honest, man. I'll be real. I need to make a note right now to educate myself more so on the Iron Condors. I was just looking at Iron Condors and different trading strategies the other day. So you're reminding me that I need to stay on that. Mulagatum says look for puts to take out previous low after liquidity sweep above 569.61. Yep, that's right where the pre-market high is too. 569.61, 569.62. And that's essentially what I was thinking was going to happen, that we would have some continued bullish momentum up to the pre-market high before coming back down. And look at that, we're still moving up a little bit. All right, thank y'all for the likes. Again, we quickly round up 2K, getting close to 3. Project Limit says, yeah, that's where my stop loss is, a little above it. Above the opening or above the pre-market high? I'm assuming you're saying the pre-market high, I think. Yo, Shiloh Green, thank you for the follow. Appreciate that. Yeah, so it's one of those things, big lesson learned, right? I should have stuck with my one and done. I had my one profitable trade. We caught the ride up on these SPY calls right here. And then this was a lesson learned. I really just hopped on because I wanted to do a live trade with you all. I know a lot of you asked me to do live trades, so that's exactly what I did. I could show you guys if you just joined the live. And I should have took it as a bad sign or omen as soon as my phone started tripping out. But let me show y'all. So if you just joined, we did do a live trade. This was the calls that I did not too long ago, about 30 minutes ago on SPY. So I know a lot of you have been requesting that I start doing some live trading. A lot of you requested that I start doing live trading. So that's why I hopped on. But I should have still stuck with my overall rules, which is one and done. Mula says, gotta respect the signs. That's for sure. For sure. Yo, Hendo, thank you for the likes. Thank you for the likes. And we hit 3K. Project Limitless says, I heard rumors from random people that Pinkberry will run an IPO. Highly doubt it, but that'd be weird. Let's see. Brittany Nation says, you trade once a day. Yeah, Brittany, if my very first trade of the day is a profitable trade, then according to my trading plan, I'm done trading. And that was my mistake. Oh, that was overall my mistake right now. I already have my profitable trade right here. We caught these calls going up. We did a scalp, and I should have just left the market alone for the rest of the day. If my first trade of the day is green, I am one and done. And then after that, let's say my first trade of the day isn't profitable, I'll do another trade. And if that one's an L2, then I'm done. Two L's and I'm done. One green trade, I'm done, or two red trades, I'm done for the day. But like I said, I'm very, very conservative, maybe to a fault. I know sometimes I leave money on the table. Sometimes, if I expand my risk tolerance, things like that, I could have some different outcomes. But as of right now, my trading journey, I'm still very, very conservative. Roz says, don't ever trade, bro. Big shout out to Roz. Want to salute you, my guy. Big shout out to Roz. All right. User 1048473788538. How many times did you blow your account before becoming profitable? Um, I don't ever, in my own definition, I don't feel like I ever blew an account. But what I will tell you is for a long time, I kind of just didn't take trading seriously. So if you haven't kind of heard me kind of give the rundown of my story, I got exposed to options trading in June of 2020. And for most of us, I think in this era of trading, I call us pandemic traders. And it's not like derogatory or to like denigrate, but I consider myself to be a pandemic trader. That's when I got exposed to it. So I got my first exposure to options trading in June of 2020. And then the second half of 2020, all of 2021, all of 2022, I didn't take it seriously. I had some big wins, I had some big losses, but I never really like blew up my account. There are definitely times where I drained it down kind of bit by bit and then brought it back up and climb. But it wasn't until January of 2023, which is when I said, hey, I really want to take this seriously. I really want to take this to the next level. So I started a trading journal. As you guys saw, I use TradeZella. I also use my own manual journal. I started taking things a lot more serious. But by my own definition, I never had like one trade where I went full tilt or two trades where I just put everything out there and then I blew up the account. A lot of it was just draining from making the same mistakes over and over and over, and then building back up by building up my discipline. Yo, Jason Carter, thank you for the follow. All right, Mula says volume is low as fuck. You're right. Look at the volume on the bottom. Even with this candle that already just closed, the volume has just been decreasing bit by bit. bit by bit, volumes decreasing. We got a little less than an hour and a half left in the market being open. Brittany Nation says, "Do you do this full time?" I do not. I do not trade full time. That is still a goal of mine to get to full time, but I do have a full time gig. So that's part of the challenge, right? I try to hop on live when I have space in between work to chop it up with y'all, to show you my trades, to do a live trade when I can. But a lot of times I'm able to get my trade in between work. And then when I have more space in the day, that's when I hop in live with y'all to go over my previous trade that I already did. But I know a lot of people, a lot of y'all have been requesting, like, hey, do the live trading. And so that's what I was trying to do right now when I just got stopped out. So bit by bit, I'm getting out of my comfort zone to do more live trading with you all. But a lot of it is depending upon what's going on with my work schedule. So to answer your question, Brittany, no, trading is not my full time salary. I do have a full time job, and I try to get in between to go live with y'all to show you what I'm doing and things like that to do my recaps. Rod says only do one trade on US 30 only. That's what's up. Project Limitless says definitely inspiration. I'm down 6K all time, hoping I can make it like you. Now you'll be bouncing back pretty soon. You'll be bouncing back pretty soon, Project Limitless. Like for all of y'all that are in the TikTok live right now, you see Project Limitless in the chat. He's probably the best earnings trader I've ever seen. So if you want like uh to learn how he looks at earnings and the research and the due diligence he does, tap in with him. I don't trade earnings anymore. I've been burned one too many times. Even though my most profitable trade in my entire career was earnings, I've just learned to stay away from it. But I can't help but salute and show respect to Project Limitless. He's definitely one of the best earnings traders that I've seen. All right, Steve says price has been holding news candle too well. We're dumping next encounter. All right. 9 to 5 day trader, what's going on? Thank you for the salute. Yeah, we're really struggling to get above the open. So this is where price opened at on this blue line. We dropped down. We had this first trade of the day where we caught these calls up. That was really beautiful. And then we were above the pre-market high for a while. And then we came on down, as you guys could see. I'm not telling you guys you can't, I'm not telling y'all something you can't already see on the chart, but I'm just going through the play. And then I was thinking that we were going to have some recovery, some bullish momentum, which is why I hopped into calls on this candle right here. But it's looking like now for the rest of the day that we're going to struggle to get above this opening price for SPY. Yo, Algo, what's going on? 9 to 5 day trader says, how we doing today? So we had one good trade early in the morning right here, and then one L that we just took trading live. Steve says that was an inducement. We're dropping. Big shout out to Algo. Thank you, my guy. But yeah, I'll show you guys. So this was the good trade. This was the first trade of the day. Nice little 8%. Nothing crazy. But I'll show y'all what I was talking about. So I said in the Discord, I said, good morning. Looking at SPY to potentially scalp calls with one DTE, keeping an eye on this 30-minute candle to see how it closes. So that was this one right here. So we had the very first 30-minute candle of the day. And then we hopped in on calls on this second candle. And my main line of thinking was the same line of thinking that I had here, that we struggled to come down to the pre-market low. And so I was looking at this general area as support, and we caught that ride up. Rod said you're still profitable. Yes, sir. What's going on? What's going on? And like I said, even if if my risk tolerance was a little bit more, like I said, I'm very conservative, right? If my risk tolerance was a little bit more, we would still be in this trade and potentially, be flat right now, or maybe would have gotten some profits up here. But it's all gravy. It's all gravy. I'm also learning that when I want to trade live with you all, I'm gonna need to be more prepared. I tried to hop on really quick, like literally 3 minutes before I got into that trade. I got on live, tried to hop into the trade really quick, wasn't really super focused. So that's just a lesson there learned. And it's also a reminder that, you guys have been, if you've been following me for a while, you guys have heard me say this a lot of times, that I've been wanting to get away from Robinhood and just mainly trade on Webull. So it's also a reminder there that I need to just move to Webull. Because if I had my Webull, right, as we can see right here, it would have been a lot easier just for me to trade on the desktop, as we're about to see. All right. I should have just went to Webull and did the trade. All right. Algo says hard to trade live. Yeah, I've only done it a few times, but I got to push myself to get out of my comfort zone so I could do more live trading. User 306162229 says get two phones. I did. So the phone that we're on TikTok live right now is my newest phone. And then I got this old beat up phone that I was trading on, and it just really struggled. Like as soon as I got in there, it froze up on me. But that's what's going on. Dylan says Webull is way better than Robinhood. You're very right. You're very right. Webull has desktop, yes. So I need to just stop being lazy, y'all. I gotta log in again. That's how long it's been since I logged into the Webull. All right, let me move this out the way. Don't need y'all. Some of y'all are too smart. Let me move my login out the way. Some of y'all, some of y'all could tell by the buttons I press. All right. Oh snap! That's not the password. Oh shoot. Let's see. Okay, here we go. We got Webull going on. Now, if you guys see some account information, don't dox me, y'all. I trust y'all. Don't dox me if you see account information. That's part of the reason why I've been hesitant to go live on the Webull too. But yeah, I think this would be the live where we all remember that I finally converted over to Webull. But yeah, so here's the Webull desktop, and I should have just been trading from here instead of messing around with that Robinhood. All right, big shout out to Algo. Thank you so much, my guy. Dylan says, "How do you choose your expiration dates?" Um, it's very interesting, man. For the most part, I usually would only do a week out on expirations, but I had to finally realize, and this is what one of my mentors and some of the people that are in the trading community that I interact with, because my primary method or style of trading is scalping. I had to realize after a long time that me buying contracts that were a week out, I was paying a pretty hefty premium if I was only going to be in the trade for less than an hour, right? And so as of recently, I do one DTE. Like over the last month, oh my gosh, Weevil has an update. Over the last month, I've been focusing on one DTE that's in the money. So, like I said, I trade with about 1,000, and however many contracts I can buy in the money, that's what I go for. So if we look at, uh, Lord, I have to do this whole thing. Replace. All right, so Weevil's updating. My bad, y'all. Yeah, I do one DTE just because I scout. If I was more of a day trader, meaning that I kept my trades for, at least hours or at least a day, I would go back to looking at the weekly expiration or weeklies. But because I primarily scalp like 90% of the time, I had to realize that I was just paying too much of a premium for my trades when I knew I was just getting in and out. As you guys saw, we were in that trade less than a couple of minutes, right? All right, Roz says sometimes zero DTE. I'm still a little shook to play zero DTE. I haven't got there yet. I haven't got there yet. Mula says, "What's your full time gig?" I have to be careful what kind of questions I answer. A lot of y'all on the internet are very smart, but I work in banking. I work in the finance industry. Oddly enough, you would think I'd be a $1 million trader by now, working in the finance industry. All right, Alisco Pacheco, thank you for the follow. Vision says, "How do you find mentors?" That's a good question. That's a good question. So for me, my way of finding mentors is who can I really reach out and interact with. There's a lot of big name traders out there, and I think if you join their communities, you can get a little bit more interaction with them. But if I was able to interact with you without joining your community, whether it was on Twitter or Instagram or TikTok, and we chop it up back and forth, and you show me some things just on the strength, then that's kind of like how somebody I would call like my mentor. So if you guys want to know like the main person that I would definitely say is a mentor, I'll show you his Twitter page. If you guys want me to, just drop a one in the chat. Dylan says, "So do you make 20 to 30% each trade or 80 to 120%?" Nah, not at all, Dylan. So Dylan, when I'm scalping, I aim for 5 to 10%, as we can see here on the first trade of the day. I aim for about 5 to 10%. Where is it at? Right here. 8% on the first trade of the day. So I typically aim for 5 to 10%. And then if I'm swing trading, I'm aiming for 20 to 30% on a swing trade. I'm trying to see when was the last swing trade I did. It's been a minute. I called out a good swing trade on SPY not too long ago. It was a trading chat room. Where is it at? All right, so this was a swing trade that I called at the beginning of this month on SPY. So we had this double top on SPY right here. This is the daily chart. If you guys could see it, this was a swing trade that I called, and it was very much so like this double top that we played for Amazon. So this was the Amazon double top right here. They look almost exactly the same to me. And so what I said was potential trade ideas, swinging puts with mid to late October expiration appears to have created a double top on the daily chart initially from July 16th and the second top on August 30th. This is similar to the setup that we saw with Amazon, which was April to May. And so where was it at? Where was it at? I think was it this one? Here we go. So I bought one contract, right? I only bought one contract. I played it very small. And then if you guys could see here, I know it's a little blurry, but it ended up getting 27%. So to answer your question, Dylan, on my scalps, I usually go for 5 to 10. And then on my swing trades, I usually go for 20 to 30. Yeah, it looks like we might start tipping over. It's looking like we might start tipping over on SPY. Yo, Tom, thank you for the follow. Roz, I appreciate the love, my guy. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Ross says, check out PUG. He on live every morning and you get to call him good mentor. I appreciate that. Is he on TikTok? Ross? Algo says I went short. Yo, is it Gule? Gule? Franchi? Thank you for the follow. All right. Mula Gotham says drop one. So I'll show you guys the person that I kind of consider as my mentor a little bit. The one that really kind of helped me get a grapple on like the pre-market highs and the pre-market lows. So he's primarily only on Twitter. I think he's on Instagram a little bit. Um, Let me go to his Twitter right quick. All right, hold on. Show y'all just a moment. All right, so if you have Twitter or if you're on X, I don't think I'll ever get used to calling it X, but his handle is at Floyd Williams 46. So this is the guy who really showed me a lot of the game when it comes to um shows me a lot of the game when it comes to the pre-market highs and the pre-market lows and drawing those levels. So he's like the closest thing I would kind of say is a mentor. But that is, so here's this Twitter page. You can tap in with him. He does like a lot of live presentations on Saturdays. His Twitter handle is at Floyd Williams 46. All right. Dawson Beckwith says, bruh, I'm up mad money. Don't hesitate to take a little bit of profits off the table, my guy. Especially if you've got options contracts. I don't know how it works with commodities or Forex if you have like contracts and things like that. But if you got some contracts, don't hesitate to take profits off the table. Algo says, I've seen him on Saturdays. That's what's up. What do you think, Algo? If you've attended his live presentation on Saturdays, what do you think overall? You could be honest. Feel free to be honest. Dylan says, do you see potential to ever make 20 to 50% with your scalping strategy? Um, I think so. There are a lot of times when I trade, and I think a lot of us as traders, we experience this where, the price is still moving in our direction and we feel like we got out too early. And so, like, for instance, this trade here, right? This trade where we got in on calls, I exited about right here. I might have exited to about right here and got that 8%. So we could have been like, if I would have waited until we got to the pre-market high, we could have been up there at between 20 and 50% at least 20% for sure. So there are a lot of times when I'm scalping where I feel like, price continues to move in my direction and I could have made more money. But when it comes to scalping, because our focus is so much on the short term, I don't want to get caught if price moves against me or if it reverses, kind of like how we saw with this trade that I got into, right? And so we want to just kind of keep it very conservative, or at least the way that I trade. I can't necessarily tell you what to do. I can't give you trading or financial advice. But for me, because the sheer nature of scalping is so zoomed in, I usually just want to kind of get my money and go. I don't want to mess around with the market and overstay my welcome. All right, all right. It's a lot of love going on in the comments. Thank y'all. Now we kind of having a hard time keeping up with the comments. So y'all bear with me. Big shout out to Electric Pac Man. Thank you for the follow. W Bone, thank you for the follow. Mula says, or Algo says, honestly, you got to get in the game and to learn the game. That's very, very true. That's very true. That's one of the things about trading that's so crazy is no matter how many books and things like that that you read or even paper trading, you really have to get into this game to really, really learn it. You can learn bits and pieces from paper trading, from reading books, from watching YouTube, but to really have this stuff resonate in your heart and your soul and your spirit, you got to get into the game. Mula says, "What made you get out of that trade?" I just hit my profit target. That's all. I hit my profit target and I was done. I didn't need to overstay my welcome. Alex says, "When you scalp, you choose options in the money or more contracts outside of the money." I choose options in the money as much as I can afford. So on average, my average trade is about 1,000. And I think today with these contracts with the first trade of the day, I was able to buy 5 contracts that were in the money. I think they might have been like maybe $1.70, something like that, or $1.60. So I was able to get 5 and still keep it below 1,000. But that's for how much I that's my average way that I trade, right? Usually trade with about 1,000. I get as many contracts as I can in the money. I have typically a 1 DTE, and that's how I let it ride. All right, no nickname. Thank you for the follow. James Kennedy said, "What triggered you to buy on 30 minutes?" So I primarily trade on the 30 minute. So for me, for some reason, like when I'm looking at lower time frames, which we all know is a lot better if you're scalping, right? Those 15 minutes to 5 minutes, that's a lot better if you're scalping. But for me, just the way that my mind is and the way that my eyes see things, I get a little shook out. Sometimes I get shook out and I exit a trade too early or I get in a trade too prematurely. It's a lot of noise that confuses me. And I never really took the time to really buckle down to let my mind sort out the noise on a 5 minute chart or a 15 minute. So when I discovered the 30 minute, when I look at it, it just makes a lot more sense to me in my eyes when I look at a 30 minute chart. So I'm a lot more calm when I'm looking at the 30 minute trading. I'm a lot more, just kind of in tune with my trading style. Algo says 2 strikes in the money. That's what's up. Alex says the more volatility and the price and the money. Appreciate you for sure, for sure. Big shout out to Algo. I don't consider myself a pro yet. I'm just getting better and better, like all of us. We're all getting better and better. The number one thing that we can do is log our trades in our trading journal and to learn from our lessons so that tomorrow we can become better traders. Project Limitless says, "Is it possible to become a full time trader? And what are your thoughts on that?" Um, hold on, Project Limitless. It says, "Thanks for being honest about that. We all struggle with it." Yes, indeed. So I do think here it is. I do think it's possible because that's one of the main things we're all striving for, right? Most of us are striving to become full time traders to be able to live off of trading. Do I think it's possible? Yes, I do. But I also believe that like there is a whole nother level of discipline, of a mental shift, of changing who you are that it takes to get there. And I think for a lot of us, it's very challenging, myself included. As you guys saw, I still made a mistake today. I didn't need to take this trade. So when it comes to becoming a full time trader, it just is really like how bad are you willing to be extremely disciplined with your trading. And I think for all of us, like I said, I'm not, you guys saw me, you guys saw my trade, you guys saw my trade that I didn't even need to take. I had my one trade profitable, and then I gave most of it back with this trade right here. So I think it just takes extreme discipline. And I think the average human being really struggles with extreme discipline, mainly because trading is a completely free endeavor to do, right? Nobody's going to write us up if we don't start, our trades on time. Nobody's going to punish us. It's all about how in control we are of ourselves. So I do think it's possible, but I do think it takes an insane level of discipline. That's just my honest opinion on it. All right. Ross says, "I'm still writing in my journal with price action. That's what's up." For everybody, that's the number one thing. If you guys could do me a favor, please, please, please get serious and consistent about your trading journal. Please, Please, that's the one thing that I would ask from Curtis G. If you could do me a favor, is take your trading journal seriously. Win, lose, or draw. If you have a winning trade, log it. Log what your emotions were. Log all of that stuff. If you have a losing trade, log what your lesson was. Log all your emotions. Please. All right. Ghost 69528 says, do you mainly trade SPY? I as of the last couple of months, that's all I've really traded, unless I find like a good solid swing trade. I mainly trade SPY. I was looking for Tesla to come down. We were looking at Tesla last week, and I was looking for it to come down. It's been operating in this pricing channel. But yeah, so 90% of the time, as of the last 2 months, I've just been trading SPY. And we've got a minute left on this candle. Look at it try to reach the pre-market high. Like I said, if my risk tolerance was a little bit higher, we'd still be in this trade. We would still be in this trade right here. If my risk tolerance, or even if I was aware of this fair value gap, that's what caught me off guard was we had this fair value gap. Had I been aware of that and we'd still be in this trade, let's see. We got less than a minute to go. Let's see if we could stay above opening price. So the blue line represents where the market opened up on SPY. Let's see. Algo says good money management. Dylan says, all right, hold on. A lot of comments coming through. We got 30 seconds left on this candle. Wave Runner says, Curtis, did you take 560 strike on SPY? Buying 5 calls. Uh, what was my strike price on that? Can we see it? Let's go back. Let's go to the trades. Oh, that was last week. 569. Where was price at? The strike was 569. Let's go back. 10 seconds left on this. Let's see. So we got in here. So I was just about $1 out of the money, or at the money, I should say, right there. I got 569 strike, but I entered down here. All right, so we closed above that open. Yeah. A little bit if I had a higher risk tolerance, definitely probably would have been in this trade and got out on some profits, would have took those, but it's all gravy. It is all gravy. Um So yeah, so just to answer Wave Runner's questions, and Wave Runner, thank you for asking that. It's good to show that. So we saw here on that first trade of the day, I got the 569 strike when price was at 568.77. So it was as close to like in the money right there. It was just a little out of it. We'll say at the money. Just to be fair, it was at the money. All right. And then let's see what other comments. Dylan says, I have a scalping strat where I've consistently made 10 to 15% off one SPY contract at the money. Nice. Nice. Big shout out to Dylan. Might have to tap in with you. Let me see. Max 17312. Thank you for the follow. Dylan says, I'm just confused how you only shoot for 5%. You'd make more with the same strategy trading futures. Is that right, man? Everybody keeps telling me I need to come over to futures. I've been seeing a lot of my favorite traders. They've been moving over to futures too. I don't know if you guys are familiar with Peachy Investor. She just made her way over to futures. Let me see. Living like Tommy, what broker would you suggest using to start? I would say start off with Webull, which is supposed to be downloading an update for me. I made the mistake of, well, I won't say it was a mistake. It was just my trading journey. I got exposed to options trading via Robinhood, but if I could go back and tell myself differently, I would start with Webull. Robinhood, it was good for a nice, easy to use user interface, but as you develop your trading skills, there's a lot of things that Robinhood doesn't have, like trailing stop loss, things like that. So I would tell anybody to start off with Webull as a good broker. Plus, you don't hear about Webull too much. You hear about controversies with Robinhood all the time. Every now and then, Thinkorswim kind of gets on people's nerves because it doesn't let people log in or whatever the case may be. But I don't hear about Webull too much. Every now and then, once in a blue moon, I hear about Webull being a little finicky, but it's not as much as I hear about like Thinkorswim or Robinhood. Just waiting for that. There it is. Is this Webull update done? Jesus. So I had to get an update for Webull, y'all. And now it's trying to show me all of the new things. I need to take my time to set this up, but we are in here. Uh, let me kind of shrink this down. Let me make sure my account doesn't show. I know how some of y'all are. I'll mess around and have no Weeble account messing with y'all. Um, Micro Pod Moment says, was it 0 DTE? Both trades of today were both 1 DTE, so expiring tomorrow. This one was expiring tomorrow, and this one was tomorrow. So I haven't brought myself to get out of my comfort zone yet to trade 0 DTE. I started off doing weeklies, right? But then I realized, a couple people told me like, yo, if you're gonna be scalping and you're in your trades less than an hour, you're paying such a heavy premium for getting weeklies. So you might as well, bring the expiration date down. So I started doing 1 DTE. I haven't brought myself to 0 DTE yet though. All right, I am K Jones. Thanks for the follow, my guy. Yo, Santi, I see you. Thank you for the follow. Mula says, I've been looking into Top Step for futures. That's what's up. Is Top Step a prop firm? I've been hearing more and more about prop firms, but I've been hearing like there's only like two or three good solid ones. Oh, shoot. All right, my bad, y'all. I got like three pop-ups from TikTok right now. I had to do a little verification to make sure I'm a human that's still on. And then I got this live visibility restricted. So I'm trying to appeal that. It's all kind of crazy stuff going on right now. It's crazy because, all right. Yo, Santi, thank you so much for sharing the live. Shot by Jay, I appreciate the follow. Ghost 69528 says Fidelity's number one. So I have my long-term portfolio is with Fidelity. So that's the name of the game. So I take trading profits and then I put them in my long-term portfolio with Fidelity. And I actually have my long-term portfolio in my Discord as well. So here was I always put updates on my long-term portfolio in here, different things that I'm looking at, when I'm selling out, when I'm selling in. Let's blow up. Oh, you guys can't see it. I thought it would expand and make this full screen. Oh, there we go. Oh, all right, there it is. So yeah, my long-term portfolio is in Fidelity. So I definitely rock with Fidelity for sure. For sure. Just needed a little bit more risk tolerance on this mug. Jeez. Oh my gosh. Chris, thank you for the follow. All right. Almost 5K likes. Man, I appreciate y'all so much. So, like I said, I know a lot of y'all have been asking me for to do more live trading. I'm gonna get better at that. We did the live trading earlier. What's up, Francis? Appreciate you for coming through. So if you guys saw, I was live trading earlier on the what's the name? This was a screen recording that I did, but I know a lot of you have been asking me to do more live trading as opposed to me doing my trading recaps. So I'll be getting better and better at that. But like I said, if you just join my live, I try to work it in between my gig, in between my job and my meetings to be able to hop on and do the trade recaps and the live with y'all. So I just try to do the best I can. Rich Wave, you could take a look at the bio, link in the bio, my guy. Mula says, what's the name again? Or no nickname is asking Mula, what's the name again? Ephraim, thank you for the gift. I appreciate that. Appreciate that. All right. All right. Man, I really got to learn about these different things on the team and the gifts and all that for TikTok. Okay, let's see if we use the opening price as support. Let's see if we use opening price as support. We got 20 minutes left on this candle being open, 22 minutes. We got a strong push down right now. Let's see what happens. Um, but I do want to take a look at Tesla. So Tesla was in this pricing channel that we charted out. So this was something I was looking at for a swing trade. Now, originally, when we charted this, Project Limitless, are you in the building still? Project Limitless, are you still in the building? Project Limitless, my guys. So originally, when we were looking at Tesla, it was a few days ago on this daily candle. So we're currently looking at Tesla on this on the daily. And when we were looking at it, I was hoping for price to come down here to this bottom line on this pricing channel to take calls to the upside. But does anybody know what happened on this particular day that helped to push the price of Tesla up? I don't know if you guys remember what just happened a few days ago, but what kind of messed up what I was looking for was J Powell cutting the rates by the rate, excuse me, cutting the rates by 50 basis points. Jesus. All right. So I was hoping that Tesla would come down here to take calls to the upside, but now we're getting to the top of this pricing channel. It's closed this gap. So I'm thinking that if we hit this top line, if we stay in the same rhythm in this pricing channel, we hit that top line to take some puts to the downside, possibly. But we did close this gap that was formed back in January. January 23rd on the daily chart, we had this gap that was formed. We created this little pricing channel. And let's see what happens. 5K on the likes. Appreciate y'all. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Yo, Juan, thank you so much for the follow. I appreciate that. I see you. Thank you, Juan. All right. So if you just joined the live, just a quick recap. The first trade of the day, we were able to scalp some calls to the upside. We did one DTE. It's expiring tomorrow. That was really good. We got 8%. And then I was thinking we were going to have some more bullish momentum based off of these two candles. And we didn't come down to the pre market low. We got in on this candle and got stopped out, which was a lesson learned because my normal trading rules say that once I have my first profitable trade of the day, just do a one and done and be done. But I know a lot of you have requested that I do some live trading, which is why I got into this trade. I kind of forced it a little bit, didn't need to do that, and then caused to have a little stop loss. And we gave some of those profits back, but not too bad because we kept it very conservative. So if you guys were just joining, this was the live trade that I did on the 569 calls for SPY. This was about an hour ago when I first went live, and it showed that I got into this trade. All right. Richie Wave says, how does the market work with trading? Is there a certain time where the market is open? Yeah. So if we're talking about the US stock market, so specifically US stocks like Apple, Microsoft, Walmart, Tesla, Amazon, all those kind of things, the US stock market is open from 9 a.m. Eastern time, so New York time or East Coast time, and then it closes, or is that, excuse me, it opens at 9:30 a.m. Excuse me. It opens at 9:30 a.m. and then it closes at 3 p.m. Now I'm in California, I'm on the West Coast. So for me, the market opens up at 6:30 a.m. and it closes at 1 p.m. So we've got about a little more than 45 minutes left of the market being open, but there are general trading times for the market. And this is especially important if you trade options because you can only trade options during that time. Now, if you're trading stocks straight up and down, you can buy and sell stocks during the pre-market or the after hours or the extended hours trading. You can do some stock selling at that time. But for options traders, we have to operate within the normal or regular hours for trading, which is 9:30 a.m. East Coast to 3 o'clock p.m. or 6:30 a.m. in California to 1 o'clock p.m. All right, Rich says, I'm just seeing numbers, not knowing what it means. Oh, yeah, for sure. We could tap in and do some step by step. And I also have, if you are just a beginner and you really, really, really are new to options trading, you can go over. I have two YouTube channels. The one that you want to go to is called Passive Income University. And I have a straight up and down video for you that'll help you with all the basics. So here's what the logo looks like right here. You want to go to Passive Income University on YouTube, and then you want to watch these videos. So all these videos will help you out, especially this one. This is the main one you want to watch. Options Mechanics Part 2, Tools for the Trade. So this is about an hour and 50 minutes. and it goes through everything, all of the basics that you need for options trading. All right. Alvaro Hernandez, thanks for coming through. I see you. I see you. All right, it's been a dope live, y'all. It's been a super dope live. Like I said, just finishing up my lunch break, so I got to tap back in. No nickname. Thanks for coming through. Richie Wave, thanks for the follow. And just if you have any questions, just leave a comment on one of my videos or shoot me a DM, and I'll tap in with you. But I appreciate you guys rocking with me today, and I'll holla at you tomorrow.